Offline. Bang. Yep, it's recording. Hi. We definitely have to introduce ourselves this, like, because we don't ever introduce ourselves.
Okay.
My mom told me that. She was like, you guys don't introduce yourselves.
Oh. Yeah. Let me see the pen.
Drop.
What we talking about? Tell me what we talking about. What we talking about? Tell me what we talking about. What we talking about? Tell me what we talking about.
2 and
All right.
Hi, I'm Tyler Parker.
I'm Daphne. I am Timbro Cunningham.
I am Eric, but everybody call me Ricky.
I'm Lil Toki. I'm Karan. I'm Karan. They call me Hunter.
Today we're talking about racial tensions.
Yeah.
So, who wants to
Hard
start?
topic, people.
Okay. Well, racial tensions. I want to say the incident that happened recently with Starbucks, saying that they were going to close 2,800 stores for racial training, just kind of made me think about like what good is that actually going to do? You know, and I actually had to do like a TED talk on that like this week for one of my classes here at St. Augustine's University, and it just made me think like, what is like racial training actually going to do for employees? You know what I'm saying? Like you're now telling people who are in their probably teens, 17, anywhere from like 17 to like 40s, I'm guessing like middle age. This is how we should handle racial situations. You know, and I think like the problem with that is you have a high turnover rate in places like Starbucks. You know, people aren't staying there for because it's not a career job, so it's not like you can say, you know, you're gonna have racial training every month, and you know, you have like an accountability system, so we know that this training is actually effective. This is gonna like, what kind of training is this? Like, okay, a 1-day class like that you might get one time. So it's like, what does that actually benefit? And again, my thing was like the two customers were the ones who like initiated the incident. So I don't think it's just like it's not the employer's job to give racial training at like a later stage in life where people should probably have like racial training as a part of like your actual school curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Because if you actually are trying to teach a foreign language and you start trying to learn it in college as opposed to actually learning it in high school or middle school, then it's harder because we say like as you age, you know, it's harder to learn things because you've already learned so many things and you're accustomed to doing them a certain way. So I would think of racism the same way. You know what I'm saying? If you've been even if you're not sure that you're racist or you have racist tendencies, how can you like correct that if you're like a 25-year-old white male or a 25-year-old black male and you've been exposed to this lifestyle for the majority of your life, and now somebody's like, okay, well, we're just gonna give you this little one-time training class, and that should be good enough just for our sake, just so we can say we did something. That's not actually doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like that, to me, that's not addressing the issue. The issue is we need to have it in like our elementary schools. We need to have it like from the time you're basically learning to talk. Like, okay, yeah, you're learning to say these things because you're also trying to counterbalance the things that are going on at home. Because, you know, a lot of like racist ideals don't come from schools. They don't come from like churches. They come from what happens in the home, what people see firsthand. So I think you made a good point earlier about like the HBCUs.
yeah.
What was that?
The point about the HBCUs.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole thing about the HBCUs, like when you look at Brown versus Board of Education, this whole court case was to word for
Desegregate.
segregate
Yeah.
education. But then after that whole system was passed and they said, okay, blacks and white in the same school, we went and said no. We want to stay in our comfort zone. So here are HBCUs and here are PWIs. Ironically, a lot of HBCUs were started by white people. A lot of HBCUs were white schools until white people moved out because black people, it was a high moment of black people. And now you have PWIs. In a lot of HBCUs, the only people who put money into them are successful black people. And PWIs, if you pay attention to the enrollment rate, it's high in HBCUs. The enrollment rate in PWIs might not be as high, but the graduation rate is high. A lot of students who graduate from HBCUs, we graduate, but where are the jobs? But so at the end of the day, like you come to realize there's still a lot of racial tension. Because as going to the HBCU, a lot of the things they do is black empowerment. But at the end of the day, like we have to get caught up because when you go out to the real world, it's not, there's no HBCU around you. It's black and white and all different races.
Like their classrooms are like when I was over at State, like they have in their library, they've got this 3D interactive
Have a lot of
classroom.
funding.
Yeah. And it's like when you come here, you know, it's not necessarily that well, it is. We're behind. Black culture is behind in a lot of academic ways. Like culturally speaking, we're not behind, but you know, like right, we lead everything else except like basically academics.
But it's our values. Like, you know, a lot of HBCUs, we're good because we empower black people. We give people a second chance as far as I've messed up in life and I want to get a second chance. That's all good. That's all cool.
Right.
But to me, one thing I've never understood, how are you a HBCU? You're supposed to help these black students, but you suck money out of them that they don't have.
Yeah.
And then when you suck all this money out of them, where's the money going? Because by the time this student has graduated, I don't care if you're majoring in robotics or you're majoring in physical health, you want to be a PE teacher. I think a school should create a foundation for you. There's no way you do 4 years in college and you've never done research.
Yeah.
So a lot of students who are in PWI do research from their sophomore year. A lot of us have no research skills. So by the time we graduate, we just have a bachelor's degree saying, oh, Tyler was here. That's pretty much it. You don't have any research and the program you studied was not certified.
Right.
So I really feel like our values are at the wrong place. We don't really look at education to be important.
That is true. Actually.
I'm listening to him. I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Basically, you guys are like hitting all the points.
Yeah.
So like, there's no point to like add on to something that's already been said.
Facts. I mean, I feel like as an attendee of an HBCU, and I'm proud to be here. Like,
Woo, saying all Falcons.
right.
Falcon pride, personified.
Hey, right. I know. They said that the value of our education would like be diminished by the time we graduate.
Yeah.
Because we didn't actually get an education, but because of the lack of support from alumni, the lack of students that actually produce after they leave. You know, like that's what makes a prestigious university a prestigious university. It's like how many. So we have 10 to 15 political science majors here. How many of those political science majors are doing something with that degree? How many people are doing something with a psychology degree? How many people are doing something with their physical education degree? Or how many people are where are they at? What are they doing? Like you know, I think our graduation percentage is at like 38%, and partially because again we don't value it. We don't value our education here, and I think we touched on it last topic was like the value of what it costs to attend this school and not just this school, but other private black universities. I mean, because Central is a public, it's a public black university. It's not private, and their cost is way lower than ours is. It's like $7,000 to go there. You know, well, if you stay off campus. If you stay on campus, it's a little bit more expensive, but you know, ours if you stay off campus is like 15,000. You stay on is like 27. So, you know, like when you graduate and you get the job, if you graduate and get a job, and you're only making $35,000, you're not paying that student loan back, and that interest is going to kill you. Like, it's not even the student loan that's going to kill you; it's the interest. Because you have to pay that interest back, or else it doubles and increases. And it becomes a cycle that you'll never get out of. And what we're doing is we're creating more. We're actually creating more people that will be on low income housing, they'll be in debt probably for the rest of their lives. Like I know, my mom actually, you know, had to consider like taking out a life insurance policy because the student debt that she incurred from Shaw was just like you can't pay it off in your lifetime. And I think eventually that doesn't like get passed to your children. But hypothetically, what if it did? You know what I'm saying? Like that would be like a new generation of slavery. Because HBCUs were created to initially help us out, you know, so that we could be educated to go get some of these jobs that would, you know, in turn give us a better chance to have a better life. But initially, like, that sounds good, but as time goes on, we're still involved in these high tense, prejudice, racial situations where people are looking at what school you go to and what color your skin is, and you go to a job and, oh, you went to Shaw University, you went to St. Aug, you went to Central. I mean, it's not like, granted, if you go to like an upper echelon HBCU, then you're looking better. You go to a Howard or you go to a Morehouse, you know, it's looking like, oh, okay, you compete.
But you know what made it that though?
Mm-hmm.
It's like people don't understand how much power we have, like with our words.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why Howard is great is because people always say Howard is great.
Yeah.
The reason why HBCUs don't get a lot of love is because we don't even give ourselves that love.
That's true.
So it's like, you can't expect, like, the world to see us in a light that we don't even see ourselves in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're not even trying to take care of home, you cannot expect anybody else to be trying to take care of home. Like, you're not even worried about home, bro. Like, you don't need to talk good about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's the way we see it. So it's like, if you just get a few that actually, you know what I'm saying, spirit it up, funk it up, you know what I'm saying? Do you, like, live, be great, do whatever it is, like, that you're going to do, just have that drive. And, like, things change.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why Howard is great. That's the reason why all these other schools is great, is because people speak great about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to do the same thing here.
It's also, it's kind of like, it's a 50-50 thing. Because it's all financial.
Yeah.
It's like kind of split down the middle. It's like, who is funding them? And it's like, that's how their name is getting out more. That's how prestigious white institutes are so big. Because there's a difference between North Carolina Central D1 and UNC D1. It's like, Central just turned into a D1 within the last few years. They used to be St. Aug's biggest competitor, but they had the financial background, the right financial people. They teamed up with the right people to help finance them. But as far as like the racial stuff, that's another 50-50. It's kind of split down the middle. Everything is split down the middle. It's like you can go one end with it, go one end, but it's like everything that the person that we are now was created when we were little. Because of the information that we picked up. So nobody's born racist. Like, kind of like to stick on topic a little bit. Nobody's really born racist. We just pick up from what we see. So it's like our past generations get on us, beat us up, not beat us up, like physically, but like mentally. Yeah, physically and mentally. Like they beat us up and like, yeah, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, blah, blah, blah. But we're learning from you. So it's like it's like a string of. So we're literally still feeling the wrath of our ancestors. Because it's just generational punishment. So it's just like, and like the way we at now, we're in the technology stage. So all we see is what's in front of us. So we ain't gonna have no choice. So we kind of speak on to try to get it better. The ways we get it better is kind of speaking within your own household. But how can you get someone to speak within their own household when the parent grew up in that same realm that they're trying to teach the